Let's go.
Let's do it.
What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenart's subprime hero.
And we are excited to be brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast with this guy right here.
This one right here.
We are so excited. Do what it is that you need to do to get who needs to be in this room. And tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal
And share.
And we're doing that right now. I'm on my phone right now. I'm sharing it to all the groups, to all the people. Get out there. It's live right now on my Facebook page, Lou's Facebook page. It's at Car Guy Coffee's Facebook page. You name it, it's there. It's on LinkedIn right now through Car Guy Coffee. It's also on YouTube. So wherever you like to watch your webcast, go watch it there. Share it to people. Let them know that we have a solutionary in the building. We have somebody that is on a rocket ship ready to go to those new places that no one's ever been to before. I'm pumped up. JP's in the house. What's going on, Jean-Paul?
Right, that's right.
Love that guy. Another solutionary, an alumni of the show, and so many other things. And he's somebody that we absolutely look up to. But we have this guy in the show. You know, I can't wait to announce him. What I could tell you is that ever since I've met this guy, ever since I've met him, he's been an amazing, amazing person. Just somebody that's just a light. Like when you go into a let's just call it a yacht, right? Let's say you're on a yacht, right? He stands out on that yacht. I mean, he really was somebody that just really, to me, I can tell had a big future in this industry and is looking to do some things and make some changes. And with his company that he has established, the CEO of, the head honcho of, I tell you, he is crushing it right now. And he's doing some things. He's getting the word out and he's excited about it. He's also getting ready to have another baby. I'm telling you, we will talk about all that stuff here in a little bit. But I'm pumped up to have him on the show, Lou. How about you, brother?
Man, I am really, really, really excited to have the solutionary on here. We had the chance to brew a little bit of solutions live together, and it was great. It was
awesome.
Great energy. It was great fun. We got the chance to be on the cover of the book that he put out. What? Look at that. We had a great time. This
Pretty cool.
solutionary
Pretty cool.
been making things happen in the automotive industry and is carving out new paths for himself,
That's
for
right.
those that he's leading, and for his family that's growing. Yes, there's some baby talk in the cafe, everybody. Just became a grandfather right here.
Right there.
This guy, you can call me Welu because that's what my grandbaby girl is going to be calling me. So excited. Welcome to the world, Brenly Reese Wilcox. And congratulations, Sophie and Kyle, on bringing us an incredible new baby to the family. But this is the time that we get the chance to talk about legacy. We get the chance to talk about the great stuff that makes great car guys and great car gals do what it is that this industry needs. And that's upshift and uplift those around us. And when we do upshift and uplift the people around us, the opportunities around us, we get the chance to brew solutions. And that's exactly what we've been hunting for all throughout the history of Car Guy Coffee Podcast, is seeking out the very, very, very best beans so that we can curate conversations that really bring people to inspiration and to Solution Brewing. So with that said, car guys and car gals, hopefully I did not put too much ado on these words from Lou, and you've had time to get some car guys and car gals up inside of here. So thankful again, Don Brady, Jean-Paul Guidry, for joining us this morning, and we need to get more of you Solutionaries up in here. But if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this on the live, you got to do what you can. Give a coffee cup emoji, give a couple hand clap emojis, and welcome in the star of the show today, the incredible solutionary that is making some things happen, rocking some of that swag right there. And we are ready for the one,
the only Josh Bagley. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys? Like that, I mentioned earlier, Lou, I like that hat, Fred. I don't know, Lou lost his already, but we'll get him another one.
He fixed his hair. He didn't want to mess it up, right? So I absolutely love my hat. This is an amazing hat, because if I wasn't a fan, would I be wearing this hat? Right? See, I love it, man. This actually, I'm going to tell you, I get a lot of cool hats out there, and I get a lot of cool swag, but you picked out a really good hat and a great design on it. I love how it's a patch, the whole nine. This is a cool hat. I'm just saying, like, and then when you think about the hat, that's just how somebody thinks about his company. He really thought about how this was going to look, how it's going to be. So that tells me little things about how the rest of your company is, how you are. And I appreciate that. And that's something that I'm excited to highlight today. But more importantly, let's take your company to the side for one moment. And I'm not trying to do that. We're going to put it to the side just for a moment. We want to talk about you. I want everyone to know about what you're about, why your company, because here's the thing. There's a lot of great businesses out there. There's a lot of great products, software, so many great ideas, but without the right people, it doesn't matter. The stuff doesn't get out there, or it doesn't get it, even if the product gets put into a store, it's not being implemented correctly. But one thing I know about you and your company is that it's going to be implemented correctly because of who you are. And I love that.
Yep.
Pumped up, man. So you ready for this, bro? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So before we
been
do
waiting
anything
since when was it? Was it in Vegas, right?
Yeah, we had this picked out. We decided we were going to do it, and man, ever since then, dude, we've been pumped up about having you on the show. But before we go any further, before we ask these 5 questions, before we get too deep into who Joshua Bagley really is, right? We're going to have to do the forgive, focus, fly, the 3 Fs, the F-bombs. We're going to have to drop those right now so we can get you into the club. You've done it before, so he already knows the handshake. I'm just saying.
A little rusty. But yeah,
you're going to get it. You're going to forgive, you're going to focus, and you're going to fly with us, right? So that's the key to it. Lou?
That's right.
Break it down.
So let's go ahead and do this, everybody. For those of you that are watching on the live or on the replay, drop that forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing inside of the comments so that we know you know the words, and you can go ahead and do the movements where you are, but we don't want to just go through the motions. We want to know what we're talking about. We want to wipe off the weight of unforgiveness.
Right.
Man, what a season to do that. Make sure that we do appreciate the opportunity that we have to choose forgiveness, to choose each other, and focus on what it is that we can do, the blessing that we can be, and the value we have with the people around us, and then stretch out in faith and begin to fly. Now, Josh has been stepping out inside of faith, and we can't wait to get in this 5-liner to talk all about it. But as we get ready to do this now, Josh, go ahead and join us with the hands on the shoulders, and let's forgive, focus, fly together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing all the time, my friend. I'm excited. Let's go. We have people jumping in. We got Don Brady with his official. I mean, this is like, if you know Don Brady, this is literally his logo.
There you go.
Smiley face with the sunglasses. If you put a post out there and he knows you, he's going to support you, and he does it every single day in almost every picture you put out too. I'm just saying. Don Brady, shout out to you. We got Jean-Paul Guidry on here talking about the 5-liner heroes. We have a Facebook user, and I'll figure out who it is in a minute. This is really live.
That actually might be JP right there.
Okay.
That might be him. Like, oh, this is really live.
Hello, Josh. Let's grow. I love it. We got the FFF, and then, of course, the smiley face again.
Yes, sir.
That's what's happening.
Mapping it.
That's definitely Jean-Paul Guidry. There's no doubt about it, man. Excited to have you here, man. But we're excited to do this show. We're excited to get into this 5-liner because, Joshua, I tell you, man, you're an outstanding young man, and I can't wait to see what the next 5 years holds for you. I think that you're going to do some really big things with Jab, and I just know it, man, just because of who your heart is, dude. So let's get it going, man. Let's talk about you a little bit. Let's get into the first question of the 5-liner. The first question I like to ask everyone is your why. What drives you? What makes you wake up every day and say, you know what, I'm gonna go out and take these risks. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make these things happen because this is why.
Yeah, so really, to start off and just really changing the industry. I think that it's been happening over the last few years, through COVID and really just being able to give a better buying experience. Being in the industry since 2004, started
Right.
seeing all those, those friction points and things that we really need to change. I forgot where it was, but a statistic that people rather go to the dentist than a car dealership. And it shouldn't be that way, right? So it's just really overall wanting to change the experience and the overall look and of dealerships and how people think of us as an industry. So
Love it, man.
Absolutely. And that is something that we can see just in your interaction with people. We watch you talk. We be watching. We watch the interactions. We see what it is that you all are brewing, you and your lovely wife, and the entire culture that it is that you're cultivating around you is something that we do know is bringing much hope to the industry, that people can come in here and really carve their way.
Yeah, bringing honesty, transparency, and really on my end, for even from vendors to dealers, transparency and honesty in their platform and their solutions, and brewing real solutions instead of the BS out there that might not move the needle and sounds good, but bringing real results. So
come on, so true. And bringing real results is what Solutionaries do. Seriously, folks, this is not make believe. There is a lot of talk out there. There are a lot of things that are inside of a dealership. And really, if you don't have awareness of where it is that you are, it's so hard for you to chart a path to where it is that you want to go. And what Josh is excellent at doing is digging into the real, right? And forgetting the fluff, getting only the good stuff.
A lot of it out there, right?
Yes, for real. There's so much of it out there. But we appreciate that, brother. And with that, we want to ask you, we want to know inside of this 5-liner, we want to pull this info in order to make sure that we do bring hope to those that are outside of the industry and to see that there is a path that they can find themselves in here in automotive. But for Josh Bagley, Solutionary of the day, brother, what has brought you to the automotive industry?
Well, it started, long story, started back in 2004, was 15, 16 years old, looking for a job, right? And got a job at an auto parts store in South Florida.
Right on.
Surprisingly enough, they normally didn't hire until you were like 16, 17, but I believe I was 15. And once they saw my date of birth, they kind of realized they screwed up, but I'd already started. So had already started that. And by the time I was 18, they gave me my own store. Wow. And moved on from that into the independent tire and service with Tire Kingdom, and ended up having a district there. Kind of ran the service side of things, and moved from there into OEM Chevy dealer as a service manager, and from that moved on into installing some BDCs for service for a group, and it just kept on moving around, and always was the younger guy in the store. So anything having to do with technology or internet, always said, hey, let Josh figure it out. So it kind of moved into what I'm doing now. So really how I started the idea of having the agency is I was actually at a convention and was hearing all the pitches, and one vendor saying this and one vendor saying something else. And you kind of get lost in that moment of, which one's being honest with me and which one's being true. So started training myself on Google Analytics, on Google Ads. And we started at the group I was at then, started doing some more stuff in-house just to see if we could and what the results were. And obviously when the results are result in money in your pocket, you start being a little more frugal with your spend and figuring out what really works, right? Instead of just throwing it at a vendor and obviously not having to pay the vendor, we started seeing really, really good results and being able to build all that out in-house. So started up my agency, it's going on about 7 years ago, and been growing since. So
that's awesome. Wow. Well, welcome. Car guys and car gals watching, give him a big fat welcome inside of the comments right now.
Listen, loud and he's been doing it since 04, and I love that they didn't catch your date of birth, right? But I guarantee that was the best mistake they ever made. Think about that. Like, by the time you were 18, you had your own store, you were running it. 18 years old. Most people don't start working until then, right? A lot of people maybe at 16, they might have some part-time jobs, but to have a full-time job, but not just be a full-time job, but leading a group of people, probably people twice your age in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
And
and
going
that's
out
always a struggle too, right? That's
it
always,
is.
when you're younger, it's always a struggle. You've
Oh,
always got the ones that, don't want to fall in line and stuff. But I mean, kind of earn their trust and show that you're not, you're not above, mopping the floor and cleaning up too, and that it all
yeah.
kind of falls in line. So
Thus is why you're a good leader, man. You've been through it. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to be the young person coming up, having to earn respect. But now, as you're starting to get that age on you, right? You're starting to be able to see why we're like that. But you put the work in. So now you can go back with your body of work and say, hey, look, I'm not just somebody who just got this position. I'm not somebody who just started a company.
I remember taking over back when my service manager days. First thing coming into a store, first thing I did was work with the guys in the lube rack. And help them come in on a Saturday, clean things up, help them clean the, even help mop the floors, and they see that initiative, and they just, fall for the, you get respect, and then from there on, you've got, just that little bit of effort makes a big difference, and be able to manage your team, so that you're not above them, and you'll jump in there with them. So
love it, man. That's leaders. What I'm talking about.
You hear that, leaders? You hear that, managers? You hear that, those that have people that are following you, and you want to make sure you show a great example to. Get out there, grab a mop, grab a broom.
Just a little bit of effort. Yeah, a little bit of effort goes, and that goes a long ways, and that's, they'll remember it forever. So
so true.
It really is.
Put out the balloons.
It does. It makes
the
balloons. A difference. When you see a leader who's actually willing to roll their sleeves up, get their hands dirty with you, and show you, hey, look, I can do this job with you if you ever need the support. But also, I respect what you're doing out here. I know it's not easy.
Yeah, I had a dealer principal actually come up. I was elbow deep in a transmission, helping our transmission tech that kind of called me over one time, and he was like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in the office." And I said, "Well, then explained it to him, and he kind of finally understood of the reason behind it. It wasn't, it was more than to help him with that repair, but the whole shop, saw you getting in there, and
bingo.
And you had respect from everybody, and from then on, we had technicians work until 3 a.m. Trying to get jobs out that they wouldn't have otherwise. So
no excuses. Hey, listen, it's not like, oh, he won't do it. No, he will. Matter of fact, if we have to stay late, he'll come out and help us stay late. He'll make sure we get done as soon as possible. He is a team leader. He knows what's going on, and that translates to so much. It translates to being a parent, being a husband, being a friend, being a brother, being a child, a son. Right? It's so many things that translates to in life that we can use. And a lot of times is that we get confused. We think that when we do things personally, oh, we're going to give, and you may be great at home. You're loving, you're doing all these things, you're picking up, doing this. But when you get to work, it's the same thing. It's a family, my friends. So you got to show them that you're part of the family, that you're not just the dad who says, because I said so.
Exactly.
No, nobody likes that. I didn't like that. My parents told me that all the time. I hated that. Because I said so. I didn't like that at all. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, guys. I don't know why I have to do this. Right. So it's always so much better when someone participates or explains it to you. And that's something that as a leader, you definitely are doing extremely well. We're very lucky to have you in the automotive industry, man. And we're excited to see what happens for you in the future. But along the way, man, I know that you've come in, you have reasons why you do what you do. And I love it. You want to see a change happen. You came into this industry, at a young age. You found ways to be able to work your way up very quickly because you were willing to put the work in. But along the way, I know you've had people who've mentored you, people who've leaned into you and say, hey, Joshua, this is a good idea. And you were like, hey, or you would ask the questions. Who are some of the mentors in your life that stick out to you?
Really, one of the groups I learned the most from was a dealer principal out in Pensacola area. Has I think 3 or 4 stores now. Alan Turner. They've got Alan Turner Chevrolet, Hyundai, and out in Pensacola. He kind of started as a wholesaler and ended up with a Hyundai store and growing. And he was he was spot on with a lot of strategies and a lot of ideas that they kind of were ahead of in their area. So. Just really with the transparency and learned a lot there and installed a service BDC with them. So learned a lot with that experience there before moving back closer to home with, like you mentioned, my daughter was closer to home, so I had to move back a little closer. Hard being 4 hours away from your 4-year-old. So learned a lot there, and really overall just reading as much as you can. Reading on forums. When you got a question, just like, a lot of people in my generation, Google it, like find answers. There's answers out there.
Right.
For the most part, when it comes down to, the digital advertising and Facebook and Google ads, like self-taught, like, you just obviously take the Google ads classes that give you some information, but just read as much as possible, and and read from different sources, not just not just one. Different strategies, and really bring in and look further out than strategies that are being used in automotive, right? So look at other verticals. We kind of put blinders on a lot to strategies that are just in automotive, or we hear these vendors pitching to us.
Yep.
But there's other verticals out there that are very successful with digital marketing. Lately, I've been looking at a lot more like the way like Shopify stores, work with conversions and ads, and kind of now that Google's opened up their platform to be able to advertise vehicles like their products, like their the vehicle ads on Google. So really looking at different verticals and learning as much as you can about the advertising as a whole, not just in automotive. And bringing some of those strategies and platforms over that you can kind of piece together and work for automotive. So just keeping an open mind and getting the blinders off to everything, really.
I think that's a great idea. I think that more of us in automotive need to take the blinders off. I agree with you 100%. And don't get me wrong, there's some great strategies within automotive. There really is. But perspectives matter. All of them do. And when you listen to them, it doesn't mean they're all right. That just means they all matter. Sometimes you run into a perspective from a completely different business that just can fit right in where it needs to be. It could be the actual solution for a problem that we haven't been able to fix for a long time. All these
I'll find myself scrolling through LinkedIn or Facebook and getting served an ad that's not automotive, completely different industry, and like why did I stop at that and look? I'll actually screenshot. If you look at my phone photo album, it's like screenshots of Facebook. I was like, why was that a scroll stopper for me? Had nothing to do with automotive, but and for some reason it made me stop and read it. So I kind of take all those ideas and put them together. But there's definitely, like, from real estate and everything else, there's all different ideas, and I think it's important that we take those ideas and make them work. Obviously, some of them aren't going to work, but when we see an ad that served to us, look at it and wonder why am I even looking at this? Why did it stop me, in my tracks, and kind of see if you think that would work for automotive. So
that's a great thing to take on, especially on the side of wondering, why did this ad get served to me? What is it about my history? What is it about my searching? What is it about the me that is a consumer in the world as well, that makes an ad get served to me? Where did I walk in, right?
What made them think I was interested in this too?
Exactly.
Luckily, on most platforms, you can click on that little question mark now, and you can see why they're targeting you. It's a little trick,
right.
really even the ad copy itself. Why did I stop and scroll? I'm getting served so many ads. Why was this the one that I stopped and looked at? And can I make this something similar? Work for a dealership. So
true. So true.
Just taking all that human data, right? There's analytical data and all these data companies out there, but sometimes we got to put human data back into it as well. So
yes, sir. And inside of that human data and getting some information, we deal with a lot inside of our careers, inside of our paths to get here. Since 04, been in the auto industry. I'm sure that you've seen a lot. You've taken a lot of hits on the chin. You've taken a couple of bullets, maybe even a couple knives in the back. We've seen some of these things happen in the industry. It's unfortunate, but we have to keep brewing solutions.
Keep going. Keep moving forward in
the right direction. But for you, Josh, as we're brewing solutions on this fabulous 5-liner, Merry Christmas to everybody as we get the chance to get this info out there. But for you, what has been your hardest lesson so far in your climb to where you are?
Hardest lesson really with agency aspect is partnering with dealers and dealer groups that have the same mindset, that have the growth aspect. There's always going to be the stores out there that are complacent, that are happy with where they're at, and you put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's not going to move the needle because they're, like I said, they're just happy where they are. So really coming back after COVID, and obviously, I think every agency lost quite a bit of business there. I'm obviously more selective in what dealer groups you work with, but you do put a lot of time. I put a lot of time into the platform, into ads and working with them to grow. But you got to kind of focus on partnering with dealers and groups that have the same mindset and are in that growth mindset.
I agree with you. It is, a lot of times we get clouded by, hey, they just want to do business with me, so I'm going to do it. But really, it should be something that's a two-way street. Like it's a partnership. That's why the term vendor should be thrown out the window. I think it should be more dealer partners.
I think of myself more as a partnership or as an extension of your internal marketing team, almost like an employee. And just like you guys know, there's in any industry, there's some businesses that that employees aren't happy, they don't want to work with. And it's the same thing for a partnership from a vendor, that you have to have the same mindset and really the same culture of like so my agency, we don't do a lot of like the big event sales and the balloons and that kind of stuff. We're more on branding and having involvement in the community and building their brand, and transparency. And that's just my mindset, my belief in things, how things should be. And then there's other stores that do that. They're successful, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's just, we have a different mindset and strategy, and the way we think automotive should go. So just really trying to partner with those type stores, and being selective with that. But for me, it's been successful in doing that, because you're obviously going to be able to show those type of stores you have the same culture, more results, versus the ones that you don't aren't in alignment with.
So true. And finding people to be in alignment with that's what an incredible task we have in being able to build with the right partners in order to be able to build with our business. Because just because we have a client and we have a fresh business, that doesn't necessarily mean that client's the best for our fresh business to get the exposure it needs to build, right? Some people will take what it is that your solution is, not put it to work, and blame you for the results.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
What we've often found inside of the conversations with many dealers is that there's a lot of tools in the shed that are collecting dust, that are getting rust, and not being utilized to their full potential, only because they haven't been trained to use them. You have a leader that gets excited about a new product, a new program, a new piece of the puzzle.
You get shiny object syndrome, and you get that pitch, and you get shiny object syndrome, and think, yeah, this is great, right? Let's turn it on. Let's start tomorrow. But when at that aspect, they've already got 10 other platforms that you're not putting to work, and using the proper way. So I'm big on with our clients and dealers I work with, and making sure the foundations are set up first, before adding these other platforms. There's many additional platforms and data and all this stuff you guys see at these conventions that that I'm at as well, that are great tools. But if you don't have the foundation set up first and fix the problems you have, if they're not going to work, and you're not going to see results.
Bingo.
So you've got to fix the you got to build, just like building a house. You got to build up from the foundation.
Hey,
you got to. I was talking to somebody the other day about if you had a car in the shop and the engine was blown, the transmission was slipping, and you send it to the body shop to get a paint job, that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do that. So you got to fix the problems are problems first, and then once you get all that working and you're getting that, you're seeing ROI from all your ad spend and all those dollars you're paying Google and Facebook and TikTok and Snapchat, and you're seeing that, then okay, yeah, let's try this. Let's add a little more and add this other solution or platform in, but. Until you're seeing that, it doesn't really make sense to keep, just wasting money, right? So
100%.
You got to build from the foundation and see those results first, and then you can grow from there. But you can't grow without fixing that foundation. And if you find out that you're not even following up with leads, and you're missing out on leads, and don't have a solid follow-up process, why are you going to add more? It's just it's a waste.
You're going to literally burn money. It's what you do. You might as well put the money on a stack over here, throw some gas on it, and throw a match on there, because that's what you're doing when you do that. And it does. It's foundation. I love that you said that, man, because I'm going to tell you something. That is the key to it all. There's so many great products out there, so many great ideas, but if your foundation is cracked and it's unlevel, you could try to build on top of that, and guess what? It's going to fall apart. Because no one's going to be there to be able to do those things. You do have to start with the beginning.
And what I find too, like you said, Fred, with building that foundation, what a lot of dealers do by accident is it starts falling apart, so they start looking at another solution, and they pile on over, and you keep piling on top, and of course your overhead starts going out of control, for all these platforms and solutions. But I definitely would recommend to the dealers that are joining now and watching on replay, that are to focus on the basics and do those brilliantly, And once that's done, then then move forward into adding these other platforms to try to get incremental sales. But until that's done, they're not going to work. So I'm telling you that from experience. I've tried, and it's just you're gonna beat yourself over the head, and you're not gonna see the results you're wanting. So
no, and the dealer is going to blame you if you're the dealer partner and you bring in a product that they're not ready for. And it's a great idea. You're going to do this. If it doesn't work, it could be working, and it's great, and you could probably even prove it to them. But if they're not selling extra cars and they're not moving more metal and they're not doing these things, they're going to stop using it because they don't have the fundamentals, the foundation built for that. And
you're going to see that 30-day out cancellation before you know it.
Very quick.
And usually we run into the situation, and we've seen it out there. And dealers, you know the deal. Be real with yourself, right? Where we've run into the spot.
That's right.
We have prosperity. We have great months. And everybody's high-fiving. It's great. Congrats to everybody. Bonuses out here. Bam, 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 bam. We don't really know where the result came from. We really don't know what brought us to that success. But high five, great. The number that matters was the unit count and the growth, and we're all good. Love everybody, all good. It's not until we don't quite hit that goal, we get a little light on the cash. Right?
Yeah, which I've seen happen recently over the past few months, right? I mean, everything's kind of normalizing over, the after COVID spike there, and used cars going through the roof, and all the addendums on new cars and everything. Dealer profits and were probably the highest, and we've seen at least in my time in the industry, and the grosses, but so now it's kind of normalizing. So now's the time that they're starting to look at all these platforms they signed up for and solutions they signed up for in the last year, and like, wait a second, and then when the problem is too, when you have so many, like you just said, Lou, you don't know which one were the results were coming from. So you end up maybe canceling the wrong vendor and going back and forth, but when you have that foundation and and you have data that shows you're able to correlate the sales, it's a lot easier to make those data-driven decisions instead of just on your feeling and emotion. So
thank you.
That's
what's
awesome about the data, is that it's there. It's there for us. We used to be trapped inside of the marketing flow of only radio and only television, right? Very expensive meetings that we threw money at, threw creative at. And we saw some results inside of our store, some brand awareness, some people started coming through. Maybe we were creating leads, but now you have a way to be able to see where everything is coming from. You have the capabilities of being in the know so that you can chart what's going on. I mean, consider going into the week not knowing what the weather is going to look like if you're a farmer. Consider getting into the plane and charting out your path to where you're going to go as a pilot, and you don't know the weather you're about to run into. You don't know the conditions. You don't know what it's going to be like where you land, right? You just hop in and you just go for it. You got the fuel. Let's run. That doesn't make any sense. But in the automotive industry, we have found ourselves doing that so often and saying, let's just go, let's go, let's go. And we don't know. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah. And like you said, when the sales slow down, you're, oh crap, let's start canceling
things off the line. What's this? I forgot. I don't know, but we spent $4,000 on it. Let's scratch that. We spent $2,000 on this. Let's scratch that.
That's about 95% of dealers out there. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And listen, dealers, if you're watching this show, sit down and look at your fundamentals, look at your foundation. And if you start there and you fix all those cracks, you level the ground out, you do it right, and then you go start looking at that stuff, it's so much easier. The future will be better. You can constantly, the thing about a good foundation is that you can tear down and rebuild easy. It's like, if you don't like it, you can take it down because you know where you're at. You know where your foundation is. You know that it's level. All you got to do is back on top. You can put anything on that foundation.
Yeah, once you get those foundations, and maybe I wouldn't obviously try more than one platform at a time. Once you want to add on, give it 90 days and see what the results are. If it doesn't work for your store, then scrap it and try something else. But like Fred said, and we've been saying last 10 minutes, the foundation is essential to everything. So the doing those basics brilliantly is what I call it. The lead follow-up, your search engine marketing on Google. A lot of dealers don't realize that Google has their own AI that's I've found to be a lot more powerful than a lot of vendors out there, but you got to use it right. So if you're not doing all those essential things, you can add on as many platforms as you want, and you're not going to see results. So So yeah, just building up that foundation, and then moving on to trying other platforms and other strategies is the way to go.
Foundation.
You know, we could talk about foundation. Like, we can make this like a 3-part series, because this stuff that's how important this like, that's why it struck a nerve when you said it, because I love it, man, because it makes me love you more, because I'm gonna tell you, that's like a big thing I preach about, because that's all we do. We teach foundation. We teach people how to do the fundamentals, and we want them to get it right, because you can build on top of the fundamentals with whatever you want. I promise you, if you have your fundamentals right, you know if you did it wrong or right. Like, if anything you do in the future, you're like, okay, right. Like you said, you know your data, you know where you're at, because you can go right back to the base, and the base is going to always be there, because it's solid.
Yeah. And you don't pour concrete just on a hill. You don't pour concrete just right there into the grass. Say, this is the spot. This is where it's going to be. Let's start pouring, and I'm going to build on that. No, you got to dig, right? So dig into the data to know where it is, that level and plumb line is, and build your foundation from there. Come on.
Yep.
I love this, man. And I think this is a lesson that we all need to learn. I think this is a lesson that a lot of dealers have learned or are in the middle of learning right now. So make sure that if you have questions, man, reach out to Joshua about it. I promise you, he's definitely got some great ideas to help you. That's his email address, so you guys know. I'm going to put it back up again later, but I want you guys to know that Joshua is full of knowledge, talking about so many different things. His company is going to be out there trying to help you. We're going to talk about his company some more after this 5-liner, but what I want to say is that this is the one. I mean, I love what he's talking about here. It's all about the fundamentals. It's all about the foundation. And I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, if anybody wants to reach out, if you reference Car Guy Coffee, we'll go through all your spends for you, no cost, no pressure into using us as your agency.
Hey.
I'll sit down with you and go through everything, give some advice, suggestions, take it or leave it, and it's always just give a second eye on what you're spending now, to see where you can even work with your own agencies to get better results. If you decide on going with us and doing some of your campaigns, so be it. But if not, hopefully you'll leave with some information and some more knowledge on being able to get some better results. So
I love that. That is Brewing Solutions. So reference Car Guy Coffee, reach out to them, email him, go to his LinkedIn, go to his Facebook. He's everywhere. I'm telling you, reach out to him right now and let him know, hey, I just like to have this free consultation. It's free information. That information can change your life. So I'm going to tell you something. It's important that we all do that. We should all be looking for different perspectives. And man, I'm going to tell you, Josh's perspective is phenomenal. Nathaniel Banks saying, wonderful Wednesday, my brothers. Bless you, brother. We love you, man. Thank you for being here. But we got so many great things, and I'm going to get into this 5th question. And I really want to ask this because we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about your why. We've talked about what got you in this industry and how you got in 15 years old. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's awesome, right? They didn't even know. They thought he was 16. I love that, right? But, doing your thing, you come up through the industry, you've had some mentors, you've learned some things. We talked about literally the greatest lesson learned. And I love what we talked about foundation, man. I really love that. What has been your greatest reward for all the hard work that you've put up to today?
Greatest reward is being able to get to the point where I'm at now with having an agency. Gives you, being on the, I'll scrap the word vendor, but on the partnership side, you get a little more freedom, being able to have more time with my family and being able to grow as a person. Little more time, a little bit better schedule than being in a store every day. But that'd be my greatest reward in being able to be where I'm at now. I'm at a great place, and the automotive has been very good to me and my family. As you guys mentioned, my wife is in the industry as well. So yep. And if that wasn't if I wasn't here, she wouldn't be here either. So funny enough, she was actually in the industry for 6 years before we even met, and I didn't even know it. So it's just a great industry. Anybody out there that's watching that's not in the industry yet, I definitely give it a shot. And when you do, just really jump in and try to learn as much as possible from these guys and podcasts and reading and really self-teaching, teaching yourself as much as you can. About really every department too, not just sales or not just service. Try to learn, everything you can about advertising, about everything. And you'll see the rewards, coming from it. It's a great industry, and it's like I said, it's been good to me and my family, and I think it's been pretty good to you guys as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And it is, what a great reward this industry has been for us. I think that
It is.
You've been a great reward for this industry too, my friend. And I'm glad that the industry has you. I'm glad that we have you in there to be able to lean into and be a friend and be able to share. And like you said, this is a two-way street. Like there's so many things that you can influence me with, and I know there's things I can help you with, right? And that's why we teamed up, and that's why we connect with each other, because we know there's something going on here, and we know that the synergy is perfect, man. And
I guess I need to make a new hat for always be learning instead of always be closing, right? That'll be version 2.
That actually is really a great idea, man. And I love that. And it's truth. Folks, what he just said, there always be learning. Listen, you know,
keep it ABC. We always be curious.
We believe
always be curious.
That's right.
There you go.
We do believe this, that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Every one of us fit inside that room. There's not a thing in my life that I can't get better at. Like I could be a little bit more. Even if I think I'm the greatest at it, there's still room for improvement.
Any taller.
Right. Right. So, you know, those types of things.
Luce had trouble with the vertical challenge.
It's a slight vertical challenge, but they've come out with shoes. And I saw
they do have shoes. Yeah.
If you want, they can start breaking pieces in your leg, and they can extend it.
Well, you can get seats, right? That go up and down.
I heard that they can add up to 6 inches in your height, real easy.
What?
But literally, no, seriously.
What?
Like there's people out there who've done it with their legs. They break it and up to
I would go with the shoes first.
Yeah.
I don't know about breaking my legs.
They're like, you broke my leg.
Yeah, I'm out. Give me stilts.
But yeah, we'll get. I'll buy some of those. New jeans. But you know, it has been, you know, and the beautiful thing about this industry and about the people in it is that it's ever changing, you know, and it's always great, different opportunities. What I do love the most, and you said it a little bit ago, is it's about learn a little bit about everything. I think that the future of this industry is well-rounded people, not just I could just close deals. No. You got to be able to market yourself. You have to be able to coach other people. You have to be able to always be curious, right? Always be learning. And if you're not that way, you're going to fall apart. We see managers now struggling because they got caught up in the old school ways from decades ago. They've been doing it. It worked. But now it's starting to not work like it used to. Why isn't this not working? So some of them are making pivots and changes. Some of them are not, still sticking to their old ways. Well, you're about to be retired, my friends, because things are changing quick. You need to be well-rounded, you know, and learn a little bit about everything, because then you can have empathy for everyone too. You know, everyone from the people in the service department all the way up to the people working in the offices, right? Pushing out the checks and doing all those things.
Mass respect for those service riders getting complaints from the service driver about the broken cars. Because
those dudes,
if you haven't done it, go do that for a day, and you will never. You'll never have a lack of respect for that job ever again.
Never, right? You know, because the thing about us salespeople, just so you know, 99% of the time, people are in there excited to buy something.
Yep.
When a service writer deals with a customer,
100% of the time.
They're coming in, they're like, my car won't run. What's going on? You know,
and you have to make sure they leave extremely satisfied, or that CSI gets you too.
That is the key. You want to talk about master customer service people, service writers, my friends. They're the best out there, and they do some amazing jobs. So cheers to the service writers of the world, my friends. Keep doing your thing, but even you need to be well-rounded and always be learning, my friends. And if you are, you're going to keep getting better. And that's the thing. The service writer job has changed quite a bit. The technology, the way that they communicate, it's a beautiful thing, but yet it's still the same basic. Treat people good. Right. That's fundamentals. We're talking about foundation again, right? Just really loving on others, really caring about their needs. When they come to you with a complaint, no problem. Easiest part of my job. I'm here to help you. You're right. I'm listening and I understand what you're having to tell me, and I want to hear what you have to say, and I get it. And I understand why you're upset. Right. And those things are things that you have to feel, knowing that that's going to happen to you on a daily. People are going to come in here with their hands like this. What's going on? And you're going to have to help them lower their defense and raise some rapport with them by speaking to them in their language, in their terms, and giving them the fact that they know that we understand. Once they know we understand, they'll understand us. And that's the key. That is foundation. That is fundamentals. And that's something we have to be conscious about every single day. Man, that's great stuff. We've done this 5-liner, man, and this was a great 5-liner, but I want to ask you about your company, man. I really want to let people know more about what exactly Jab Digital is doing out there in the market. So tell everybody a little bit more about your company.
Yeah, so we do consulting really end to end. We'll work. I've got a product called BYOV, kind of like BYOB, right? We'll play on words, but bring your own vendor. So if you want to keep all your vendors you've got, we've got a platform that'll show you all your analytics from calls to clicks to everything, on one platform. So you can kind of see your ROI from all your different agencies. And like I said before, you keep with those, and we'll, kind of even be the middleman and give them suggestions and keep them transparent. And make sure all of them are working together with the same messaging and strategy for your store. or we can, we can do some of those campaigns in house. We do search engine marketing, TikTok, Facebook. Obviously Instagram comes with Facebook. Seeing a lot of results on TikTok right now. And then we really will even come into store and consult, on your follow-up process, and have some partners we work with there to help with that, using some AI and technology as well. But yeah, really just overall, we'll do the ads in house if you want to go that way. But if you're a OEM and you've got a vendor that you're required to use through co-op, we'll work with them to make sure they have your best interest at mind and not theirs. And really just overall. So anything, just even look at your website, trying to make sure we're getting the most conversions we can from the money you're spending. Any way we can help, we're there. We'd love to do your campaigns in house, but we understand that there's a lot of OEMs that are specific on what vendors you use, or you may have a vendor that you've had a long-term relationship with, but just want a second eye and then a second thought from somebody that's been in the industry and moved the metal and wrote the repair orders, and want somebody that have that that second eye on what they're doing for you, to make sure they're following all the best practices and going back to make sure they're using the newest strategies. There's a lot of automotive vendors that are kind of delayed, because most of their solutions are platform based. They're not actually going into Google Ads and building out the campaigns, or going into Facebook. You're working out of a platform they've built, and obviously that takes a little bit of time for them to be able to launch some of the newest strategies out there from automotive and other vendors or other verticals. We make sure they're using those best practices and using what's available to them for really free, sometimes that they don't necessarily use. So
that's rad.
That's good.
And I love that, folks. And once again, mention Car Guy Coffee. He'll give you a free consultation. He'll sit down and explain what you need. He's going to give you free information, stuff that you can actually, even if you don't sign up, you can actually take it, implement, make a change, figure out a solution for it. And it'll change your dealership. It'll change the way that the process is. It'll fix your foundation, my friends.
Yeah, dude, if you visit the website, like you mentioned in the beginning of the podcast today, we've got a playbook for 2023 that's got some strategies, 10 strategies that will bring you up to speed for 2023. Got the wonderful Car Guy Coffee crew on the cover. So yeah, make sure you download that. It's at jabdigital.io, and we'll get in touch with you as well to see if you need help implementing any of those strategies, but or if you want to go through the consultation and see what your vendors are doing now, make sure they're up to speed and have your best interest in mind. We'd love to help you out there as well.
I love it. Folks, go to the website. If you don't feel like having a combo, go to the website, jabdigital.io. Go check it out. Go in there, get some information. If you want a little bit more, once again, it's free. He's going to sit down. He's going to explain things to you. He's going to go through it. He's going to do it out of love, right? No intention. Of course, if you want to sign up and do some business with him, he's going to take care of you. And if you do, you get a cool hat like this. I'm just saying, you get to look cool like me, right? So that being said, I'm excited for you, man. I really believe that your business and your company is going to do some amazing things in 2023. It's already doing amazing things. And I can't wait to see what 2023 does for you. I mean, there's a lot of great things happening. Another baby girl's come in. You got so many things that are going to be great. This is going to be one of the
big year. Big year.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year. But let me ask one more question. I'm just curious, you've been in this industry for a long time. What inspired you to start this business? Like Jab Digital, that is.
Yeah, really, when I was, like I said earlier, I was back at the stores, and the light bulb went off when I was actually at a convention. I won't name the convention, but I was hearing pitches from all these different vendors, and one was pitching, one product, and one was pitching another. It is what it is, that they're salespeople just like any of us, right? They're going to pitch the product they believe in, but started realizing there was a lot of gray area in truth and transparency and what was factual. So started doing some research and started realizing more that there was lack of transparency and how these processes and platforms were actually working. Once I started getting self-taught and then started realizing there was some BS out there, and started really when we started working with vendors at the group I was with and diving in a little bit deeper, asking some questions, and surprisingly, a lot of times they weren't able to answer them.
Wow.
Then I realized that, there was a need, and then started brewing some solutions, right? And and said that, that there's definitely a need for this in the industry. and the transparency. And any dealers or groups I've worked with will tell you that we're very transparent and honest with them on of platforms, feeding them smoke and mirrors. I'll tell them that this is what the truth is. You can take it or leave it, but it's been outstanding, the results, in being able to do that.
Love it, man.
And just holding to that word that we're going to be transparent. We're not going to recommend any solutions or platforms that say we're getting as a consultant getting paid back for. But we're really clear, transparent, and vocal on the truth. So, but yeah, just starting off was really just seeing that gray area and the different vendors and what they were pitching, and realizing that there needs to be somebody that holds them accountable, and is transparent with everything. So
yeah, somebody who could speak, be like, no, that's wrong. Like, I did my research.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that you are literally a standing billboard for exactly what you're preaching. You said, I'm going to change this hat to always be learning, right? No, and look what he did. He found something he thought was a little off. He went and got educated on it more, learned, self-educated himself. He literally just said that, my friend, self-educated himself a little bit more and realized, hold on, there's a lot of gray area no one's talking about. There's not enough transparency in this, that they're putting smoke and mirrors up so people will sign up, and realizing that half the stuff they said was not real, right? It's just dust. It's just magic. It doesn't really happen, right? Yeah,
just fairy dust, and it's not, it's just
great.
It's a great pitch. It's a great pitch until you sign on the dotted line, and then you got to 30 60 day out. And like we said, all these dealers sign up with so many vendors, you forget sometimes they even have them. And they just keep paying. But
right,
yeah,
it always sounds awesome.
And that's you got to and any dealers watching or decision makers, do some research on the on the pitch before signing. Give me a call. I'll show you what's really happening, and ask the questions that you need to ask that vendor before signing. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of fairy dust out there, and my goal is to help filter through some of that.
I agree.
And help dealers get real results and maximum ROI. So,
well, folks, if you want to make sure that you are up on your defenses, making sure that you are up on your foundation and fundamentals, you don't get into the fight for your customers' attention or for the honor of being able to take care of them until you start working on your jab, right? You got to make sure that jab is locked and tight and consistent and connecting, everybody. You want to make sure you are making the connection happen. But for those of you that are wondering if you should or should not book your free consultation with Jab Digital and our friend Josh over here, well, let's go ahead and put it out there. Keep it official, everybody, that Josh Bagley is 100%
CGC approved.
That's right.
That's
right. You guys appreciate it.
That's the man right there, man. And listen, I put the phone number up here, folks. Reach out.
That's my personal cell phone. So shoot me a text.
Blow him up. Let him know how great he is. If you're more of an email guy, you don't want to talk on the phone, just email him right there, folks.
That'll work too. Yep.
Very easy to reach out to him. And once again, just go to his website if you just want to get some information. Look at some stuff. It'll change your life. That right there alone is at least taking one step to the future, my friends. So at least
download the playbook. Get 10 strategies that'll help bring you into 2023. And if you need help, implementing any of those, definitely give me a call.
That's right.
Myself, 386-365-9405. Fred put that up there. So glad to help any way we can, and appreciate you guys having me on.
Dude, we thank you for putting out some time and coming on and being part of this show, man. And once again, man, we honor you. We are so grateful for you. We're grateful for so many solutionaries in this world, and you're one of them, man. And you're making a difference. You're really helping this industry look really good in the future, man. And that's what we need. We need this industry to be strong with people that are willing to be well-rounded, always be learning and closing. I'm going to say both.
And closing.
Right? Always be doing all those things, but most importantly, building the right foundation so that everything else is great. And if you guys want to do that, go to his website, reach out to him, text him, call him, whatever it is. Reach out to us. If you want to talk to us about it, we'll guide you into it. Listen, he's a solutionary out there. He's doing amazing things. Everyone cheer him on. He's about to be a father again. Another girl. Let's go, right?
Let's go.
And his business is blowing up right now. So let him know how great he is. Go to his website. Do everything right. Be the solutionary that your dealership needs, my friends, and get out there and grow.
Let's grow. Let's go, everybody. You have some solutions to brew before Santa Claus comes to town. We want to wish
close.
you a 1
Close, man,
million% happiest season that you've ever experienced. We pray for those that are going through different things and different challenges. We pray that somebody makes a way for you. But those of you that can hear this message on the replay live, you hear about it in any way, be the hope dealers that this industry and that this world needs. Those with the most hope have the most influence. And we encourage you to bring hope this season, encourage somebody, bless somebody, and let them know that you are not a problem percolator. You are brewing solutions, just like our friend Josh Bagley. So let's go ahead and finish this off the way we got this 5 lineup began, and forgive Focus Fly so that we can keep growing. What an incredible show. Thank you so much for brewing with us.
Yeah.
Fly with us one more time as we go enjoy this Christmas season on 3, 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, lie, and
keep growing. Keep growing. That's right.
Car guys and
See you guys.
I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast with the one,
The only Josh Bagley.
That's right, everybody, from Jab Digital. Excited. Brother, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Say goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Share it around. See you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Go.
Hey.